greater love is. No greater love. I'm talking about that deep, indescribable feeling of affection and care or concern towards a person, compassionate towards people. Hold on. Go over to St. John. Let me show you compassion. All right, St. John, I think we want the 8th chapter. Let me show you some compassion. Amen. Minister Dave preached a sermon about the mercy and grace. Grace and mercy, unmerited favor. Something that you don't even deserve to have.
Amen.
But yet, it's extended to you. You think about that. Something you don't even deserve to have, and yet it is extended to you because you are in need. I think we want St. John, 8th chapter? Mm-hmm. Begin the first verse. Listen to this. Here's a story. Read.
Jesus went up into the Mount of
Jesus
Olives.
went up into the Mount of Olives, and early in the morning he came again into the temple, and all the people came unto him, and he sat down and did what?
Taught them.
Taught them. Amen.
Man.
Read.
And the scribes and the Pharisees brought
unto him a woman taken in adultery. She was married and fooling around, and somebody caught her and brought her to Jesus.
Yes.
Amen.
Yes.
Now she was caught in the very act.
Man.
Amen. And what happened?
And when they had set her in the midst.
And when they pull her right up in, well, wait a minute, here's, usually when somebody done something wrong, they don't want everybody to know about it. Mm-hmm. But they done drug this woman up here and done set this woman right out in the midst of everybody. Mm-hmm. And what happened?
They said unto him,
Read.
Master,
what?
This woman was taken in adultery.
This woman was taken in adultery, and when they set her in the midst of making this statement,
Mm-hmm.
And what?
In the very act. Now Moses in the law commanded us.
See, now Moses in the law now commanded us that such should be stoned.
Man.
And
man.
what?
But what sayest thou?
Amen.
Man.
What sayest thou? You be a teacher.
Yeah.
Amen. You in the ministry. This woman was caught in the very act. You supposed to be a teacher of the law. What saith thou? We're talking about no greater love today.
Man.
Now watch this. Read.
This they said.
Doing what?
Tempting him.
And what?
That they might have to accuse him.
Amen. They realistically were trying to set him up so that they could accuse him. Mm-hmm. And what happened?
But Jesus stooped down.
But Jesus, being him, amen, mm-hmm. He was always confusing them anyway. They couldn't figure him out. He stooped down and what?
And with his finger wrote on the ground.
And with his finger he wrote on the ground.
As though he heard them not.
Act like he ain't even hear him. Mm-hmm. Sometimes children do that. You talk to them and they just go on about their business like they don't even hear you. People do the same thing when they don't want to hear you. They just act like they don't hear you. They just turn you off. They got almost like they got a switch right here in the ears. They click it to off. Mm-hmm. And if you hear and make believe you don't hear, you're being a hypocrite.
Man.
Amen. Selective or however is pure hypocritical. But Jesus knelt down and he began to write as if he didn't hear. Read.
So when they continued asking him,
and you can imagine, see, that they were trying to set him up, and when he did what he was doing, that kind of aggravated them a little bit.
man,
And what happened?
he lifted up himself and said unto them,
Amen. So when they continued asking him, what you gonna do, man? What you gonna do? How you gonna respond to this? You know, sometimes people like to try to rush you into something and answer.
yeah,
And what did he do?
he that is without sin among
He
you,
said unto them, he said, he now, whomsoever all of you individuals that's done brought this woman up here, I want to know, is there any sin in you? Amen. He that is without sin, let him do what?
let him first cast a stone
I want
at
you to
her.
be the first one to throw the stone at her.
Man,
If you free from what you're accusing her of, because, see, somebody had to be with her to be in adultery, and I guarantee you one of them coons was right in the crowd.
yeah. Mm-hmm. Trying to clear up shit.
Why didn't they bring the coon up there that was running with her? No. Where was he at? Amen.
Yes.
You throw the stone. You free, you throw the stone.
Man.
And what did he do? Listen to this now.
And again he stooped down and wrote
And
on the ground.
what did he do? Stooped down and went back to writing. And what happened?
And they which heard it, being convicted by their own conscience, went out one by one.
One by one, they dropped their little stones. See, they call them the Rock Age gang because they would stone you. And they begin to drop the stones and disappear.
Yes.
One by one.
Yes.
And what happened?
Beginning at the elders,
Isn't that something? The
Even-
old coon
even unto the last.
into the young coon. Amen. And what happened?
Jesus was left alone,
And Jesus was left alone, and what?
and the woman standing
And the
in
woman
midst.
standing. Read.
When Jesus had lifted up himself
What?
and saw none,
And he looked around. He didn't even see him leave. But when he looked around, there was nobody standing there but the woman. And all them stones that they had out there going to stone her with, they would have dropped there on the ground. Gone. When Jesus lifted up himself and saw none but the woman, he said unto her, now here is that greater love. Now here is that love now. That we are supposed to have, that compassion one for the other. Amen. Here it is. Read.
woman,
He
where
said,
are those
woman,
accusers?
where are thine accusers? They drug you up here, and they said that you were caught in the very act, but I don't see them anymore. Where are they? Read.
Have no man condemned thee?
He said, have no man condemned thee? Read.
She said, no man,
She
Lord.
said, no man, Lord. And what?
And Jesus said unto her,
Watch this, church.
neither do
Watch
I
this,
condemn
church.
thee.
And he said unto her, neither do I condemn thee. What?
Go and sin
Go.
no more.
You have learned through this very act that adultery is wrong, and you shouldn't be participating in such acts. Now that you have learned that, and I am giving you this liberty to